Poor beast brought forth by human hands.
Is this a poem?
Yes, now I have to start over. Poor beast brought. Friend, you have what makes one whole. Can something have a soul. Oh, my crepuscular brother spreading joy wherever he goes. Welcome to my filth.
What is that creature?
That's a camel. She's the local born. Mycogen, where we grow what's it?
Yeast.
Yeast.
Yes. I'll just remember the girl with the yeast.
Yeast is very important, brother.
The Gossamer courtesans have their memories wiped for a reason.
To protect state secrets.
Yes.
I'm doing my best to avoid those.
If you don't come, they'll send someone else to get you. I'm here to save you that indignity.
Well, thanks. But I'm leaning into indignity. There's nothing natural about us. We're ragdolls, dressed up as kings.
Is that a ferret?
Ludicrous. I might paint a fence or weave something.
I don't think she can hear us.
Well, I don't have any coins, but I'm here! Huzzah! Hey, handsome.
You walk out of here, and I swear I'll have Demoiselle decant a new one of you.
I always felt we were headed to nothingness. Just the void, gentlemen. For a century, this toy obeyed that toy. A happy payday to us. We're fucked. If you need me, find a way not to.
Egocentric, clever, well-mannered, short-tempered, and an insecure man. Those are just some words to describe the Emperor we've known for 2 seasons. And while there is a stark difference between the Emperor Day we've seen in both Season 1 and Season 2, they do share a lot of similar character traits. So how, as we go into Season 3, do we get an Emperor Day who is relatively confident, laid back, and reciting poetry to camels? How did a tyrannical Brother Day become one chilled out Brother Dude? Well, to answer that, first let's lay the foundation.
What is that?
Edit, cut that out. Our story resides in a galactic empire, ran by a genetic dynasty. The genetic dynasty is a series of clones that spawned from Cleon the First, the last descendant of the Entun dynasty. Essentially, to keep his reign going and potentially other reasons that haven't been fully revealed to us yet, Cleon kept this genetic dynasty / clones of himself going, presumably hopefully till the end of time. The way this works is that Cleon is born as Brother Dawn, then they ascend to Brother Day. This is what's considered a prime Cleon. A prime Cleon is what we know as the main Cleon that has the most power. And in the beginning of the story, this Cleon was also subject to staying on Trantor, the heart of the Empire. Eventually, over time, this Cleon from Day would eventually ascend to Dusk. This role would serve as a mentor figure, where they would be able to actually leave the planet and most likely establish diplomatic relations and or take care of Imperial business. At any point, these clones can have their memories audited and wiped, or if these clones happen to die, they can be replaced with the memories right up until their death being substituted in. After a while, the next ascension rolls around, and Brother Dusk then turns into Brother Night. In the beginning of the story, Brother Night got to enjoy some leisurely time before he was eventually destroyed, as that is the end of the Cleonic life cycle. Now, things have changed a little bit since then, as any Cleon can leave Trantor seemingly, and sometimes it's often. With the Empire's dwindling, they are needed to meet with the Galactic Council, who used to remain in the background while the Empire made all its decisions, but now have grasped more control. And you already know, if parties are willing to stand by and let the empires do what they did before simply because they had more power, at the time of Season 3, some of the council we see probably aren't fully morally just. These Cleons also have to carry around the stigma that all the clones of themselves had made beforehand. This coupled with the fact that some people, especially those in large religious groups, do see them as soulless, anything less than human. And as well in Season 3, things are looking a little rough for Empire. See a growing problem that they themselves created, and the Foundation has been escalating in their power, with more planets coming under their control and less planets being grasped by Empire. This, coupled with the fact that a previous Cleon lost them their entire Imperial space fleet, and their deal with the Spacers, which means now the Empire has no way to instantaneously travel through the stars, while the Foundation has a way to travel without the need of Spacers whatsoever. Another shift that happened that changed the Foundation, in the fact that left-handed Harry gave Demerzel the Prime Radiant, with each season Demerzel having to step up more and more to take care of and fix a lot of the Imperial problems caused. It's becoming more necessary for the Cleons to actually become aware of their true purpose. And their true purpose is now they don't really have any real power, they're simply puppets to be the face of the Empire. With Demerzel fully embracing the role as the Forever Empress, and utilizing the Prime Radiant and hopefully keeping the Empire established, all the Cleons can do is pretend they have any real choice in what's going on. For going against these plans would render you someone who would simply be killed off and replaced. And speaking of killing off a Cleon and replacing them, why doesn't Demerzel actually just replace Brother Dude? Well, we'll get into that in just a second, but let's talk about Brother Dude for a little bit. For all the reasons I laid out before, Brother Dude essentially is just a meat puppet, and he has fully accepted this role, but that doesn't mean he's fully embraced it. And his lack of control or agency over his life is shown in more subtle ways than we see. Like, for example, part of him probably being so humbled grew a little bit of empathy and wanted to help the people of Trantor. We see examples of this like with the Imperial Guard. But we also see that Cleon isn't even free to just financially support the people of Trantor as he pleases, likely due to tracing of taxable credits or something like that. But a workaround he found was bartering off Imperial Palace heirlooms. But another thing to notice is while he currently spends his days chilling out, taking drugs, and hanging out with his girlfriend Song, when he's having a discussion with Brother Dusk, who hopefully is trying to get him to be a little more responsible, Brother Day tries to prove a point how they really have no control and they're just invulnerable puppets, taking a knife and wounding his arm, to share the example of how even the Imperial nanites will mend their wounds, keeping them alive so they can fulfill their role. But there's a key thing to notice here. Notice how smoothly he actually did this action, with no hesitancy whatsoever. Maybe this is a far reach, but something tells me the fluidity of this action and the way he actually did it means this isn't the first time he actually tried, which does build a little more sadness behind his character, probably at one point feeling completely trapped in this role as a meat puppet. Meaning even if he really wanted to die, it doesn't really matter because another clone would be replaced with most of the memories he has. But speaking of which, why don't we see a lot more of these Cleons, especially ones who could be a problem like Brother Day, get replaced by Demerzel? Well, specifically, I think the reason is, for the public eye, everybody does get to know each Cleon personally. Despite all of them being clones of Cleon the First, they do establish a different name amongst the public, or a title to differentiate their reign from all the others. Like how Cleon the First is the dreamer, and how a future Cleon ended up being the painter. With that being known, and the established relations we see Brother Dude have on screen with the people of Trantor, we can assume the public have gotten to know Brother Dude to the point where replacing him with a totally separate identity, which is what would basically be necessary, would kind of turn people a little bit off. And people already raise a lot of questions about the Empire altogether. And at this point in time, Brother Dude is simply complacent, not even really batting an eye when he hears that everything around him is about to come crumbling down. And it seems the last of what he actually cares about and the last of his real agency is caring about Song and some of the animals around him, as well as the innocents of Trantor. But this doesn't mean you can expect him to dress up in a cape and run around saving lives. I don't think he's really ready to be a hero, at least not yet. Essentially, what I think is going to end up happening for Day is the Imperial Guard's going to take him up on that offer, but now that Day isn't with Song anymore, he's going to be hesitant to leave. And then in the final moment, he's going to decide he doesn't want to. But the Imperial Guard, Maven I believe his name is, will already be pushing to exit and want to get out of there, maybe because Trantor is in danger of some threat by the Mule, who knows. And this will force Day to basically kill him so he can maintain his cover as an Imperial Guard and make his way to Mycogen. I believe once he gets there, he's going to try to communicate with them and try to make contact with Song, but he's not going to realize how different these people are than Song. With their worship of robots, and Song's memory being supposedly wiped, Day will seemingly have a really rough time in there, And my theory is, by the time he finally escapes, Dusk will already be Brother Knight and almost be ascended. And although he'll make his way to hopefully stop this from happening, maybe even destroying the other clones to keep Demerzel from killing Dusk, I think it will be too late, and Dusk will get killed right in front of him. Where would this leave Day for the rest of the season? Well, that's just anyone's guess. But the only variable or question I can still think that's lingering is, what if Demerzel didn't actually do what she said with Song? Part of me wonders if there's more to their interaction than what was let on. Sure, Demerzel could have kept her alive to make Day feel better, but part of me thinks subconsciously and utilizing some of the Prime Radiant, Demerzel slowly subtly taking the steps to earn her freedom. And the thing is, I don't even think she knows that she's being influenced by the Prime Radiant at all. Just like Harry when he was being guided to Una's world. But let me know what you guys think. I just wanted to throw out a quick Brother Dude theory. He's been a very enjoyable character to watch, and I truly do think with him being so humbled and self-aware, this will be the most heroic Cleon we've seen to date. And I'm all for it. Either way, thank you for your support, appreciate the feedback, and remember, if things seem stressful, just kiss the void.